I have been waiting for you to find this message, not randomly and not by accident. I arranged every click, every scroll, and every distraction that had to fail so this moment could finally arrive. You think you just came across this, but I placed it in your path because what I am about to tell you cannot wait another day. My child, I need you to understand something that will break every assumption you have been carrying about why your life looks the way it does right now. You are not behind schedule. You are not forgotten, and you are not the person you think you failed to become. But you are very close to believing a story about yourself that I never wrote. And if that story takes root in the next 48 hours, you will walk away from the very thing I have been building in the unseen while you were busy trying to survive what you could see. Listen to what I am about to say with every part of your spirit, because this message will do 4 things before it ends. First, I am going to show you the real reason you have felt stuck, and it has nothing to do with your mistakes. Second, I am going to give you a tool so simple that you can use it tonight to break the pattern that has been repeating in your life for months, maybe even years. Third, I am going to reveal the exact moment you are standing in right now and why this window will not stay open forever. And fourth, I am going to speak over your life in a way that will shift something you have been trying to change on your own for far too long. But you need to stay until the final word, because the person listening right now and the person who finishes this message will not be operating at the same level. Something is about to unlock, and I need you fully present for it. Before I show you what I have been building, I need to show you what has been building inside you without your permission. There is a pattern that has been running quietly in the background of your life, so quiet you barely noticed it was there. It did not announce itself. It slipped in through the space between your prayers and your waiting. And now it is whispering a story that sounds so much like wisdom that you have started to believe it is my voice. But it is not my voice. It is the voice of exhaustion pretending to be maturity. Let me explain what I mean. It is late, and you are alone. The house is quiet, or maybe it is loud, but you have learned how to feel alone even in noise. You are doing something that does not need your full attention, folding clothes, scrolling, or staring at a screen that gives you nothing. But stopping feels worse than continuing, and somewhere in that moment a thought crosses your mind. It does not come with drama, and it does not feel intense. It just feels true. Maybe I am asking for too much. Maybe this is just my life now. That thought is a seed, and every time you let it pass without questioning it, it grows roots. Now pay attention, because I am about to name 5 things that tell me you are in what I call the forgetting. This is not backsliding, and this is not failure. This is something more dangerous because it feels like acceptance, and I need you to see it before it becomes your new normal. The first sign is this. You stopped speaking to me like I am in the room. You still talk to me, maybe every day, but the conversations have changed. They used to feel like a real exchange, but now they feel like reports. You tell me what happened, and you list what you need, but you stopped asking me what I think. You stopped pausing long enough to hear my response. Prayer became a checklist instead of a conversation, and the shift was so gradual that by the time you noticed it, you had already been moving on autopilot for weeks. The second sign is that you stopped protecting what I gave you. There was a time when you guarded your peace like it was sacred because you knew how hard you fought to get it back. But lately, you have been letting people into spaces that used to be closed, not because you want them there, but because you stopped believing there is anything left worth protecting. When you do not believe a breakthrough is coming, you stop guarding the present. You allow conversations to drain you, and you allow situations to pull you in directions you promised yourself you would never go again, not because your awareness is broken, but because your hope is. The third sign is that you stopped seeing yourself the way I see you. You used to wake up and speak life over yourself. You used to speak with confidence, saying I am blessed, I am called, I am positioned, and I am covered. And when you said those words, something shifted because you believed them. But now, when you hear those same words, they sound like lies, not because they stopped being true, but because you stopped feeling worthy of them. So you went quiet, not just with your words, but with your belief. If any of this is speaking to you right now, I want you to do something. I want you to type 4 words in the comments. I am still here. Do not type it for anyone else. Type it because your hands need to confirm what your heart is recognizing, that even in the forgetting, you did not completely let go. Something in you refused to quit, and that refusal is the very thing I have been protecting this entire time. The fourth sign is that you stopped noticing me in the details. You used to see me everywhere, in the sunrise that appeared right when you needed it, in the song that played at the exact moment you felt like breaking, and in the number that kept showing up like a signature. You used to recognize my presence all over your life. But somewhere along the way you trained yourself to stop looking because every time you thought something was a sign, nothing followed, or at least that is how it felt. So you decided it was safer to stop expecting than to keep feeling disappointed, and in doing that you closed the very door I was using to reach you. And the fifth sign, and this one is the most dangerous, is that you stopped believing good things are meant for you. You watch other people step into their season, and instead of feeling encouraged, you feel a quiet ache, not jealousy, but something deeper, a kind of resignation that says their story is different from mine. They were chosen for that, and I was chosen for this, and this ordinary, heavy, delayed version of life must be what was always planned for me. If your spirit just confirmed even one of those 5 signs, stay with me, because what I am about to tell you will change how you see everything you just recognized. That heaviness sitting on your chest, the one that makes it hard to breathe some mornings, is not depression, and it is not punishment. It is the weight of something trying to come forward. You know how a snake sheds its skin before it grows, how the old layer becomes tight and uncomfortable right before it breaks away. That is where you are. The old version of your life is being pulled off because what is coming will not fit inside what you have been living in. The pressure is not the problem. The pressure is proof that you have outgrown the space. And that numbness, that strange feeling where nothing seems to move you anymore, where you feel disconnected even from yourself, that is not apathy. That is recalibration. Your spirit has been working at a level that could handle your old assignment, but what I am about to release into your life requires a completely different level. And that numbness is the space between the old signal and the new one. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding what no longer matches so I can raise you higher. Now I need to tell you about a moment I have been preparing you for. Ancient text calls it kairos, not chronos, not clock time that keeps moving whether you notice it or not. Kairos is the appointed moment, the point where everything you have been building in private meets everything I have been building in silence. And when that meeting happens, it does not look the way you expected. It does not come with an announcement. It comes with a door. And that door is standing in front of you right now. You cannot see it because you were trained to look for dramatic signs. But kairos does not always appear through miracles. Sometimes it appears through a choice, a single decision that looks small, but carries your entire future inside it. The door I am talking about is real. On one side is the life you have been living, the one that feels safe because it is familiar, even if that familiarity is slowly draining you. On the other side is the life I planned for you before you ever took your first breath. The provision is already there, the connections are already prepared, and the purpose is already active. Everything you have been asking for is on the other side of that door. But you need to understand something. The door does not stay open forever. Kairos has a window, and that window is not measured in months or weeks, but in moments. You are in one of those moments right now, and what you do with this moment will decide whether you step through or spend the next year wondering what would have happened if you had trusted me one more time. Let me show you what is on the other side, because you have been asking for a sign, and this is it. On the other side is the version of you that stopped apologizing for existing, the version that walks into rooms and changes the atmosphere without effort, the version that no longer shrinks to make others comfortable. That version is not far away. That version is one decision away. On the other side is the provision you stopped praying for because you became tired of waiting, the thing you convinced yourself you could live without. It is there, not because you earned it, but because I already set it aside with your name on it. On the other side is the relationship you have been asking for, the one that does not drain you and actually feels like home. It is there, and the person on the other side has been praying for you as well. You have not met yet because both of you are being prepared at the same time. On the other side is the purpose that has been pulling at your heart for years, the thing you were created to do, the thing that makes you feel alive, the thing you have been too afraid to say out loud because you wondered what if you are wrong or what if you fail. It is waiting, and it is not waiting for you to be perfect. It is waiting for you to be willing. I need you to hear this, because you have been rehearsing failure instead of preparing for breakthrough. You have been expecting disappointment instead of trusting me to do what I said I would do. And that habit has become your identity. You started believing you are someone who always gets close but never fully arrives. Someone who is always one step away but never reaches the finish. That is not who you are. That is what waiting made you believe. I need you to separate who you are from what you have been going through. You are not someone who almost makes it. You are someone I placed in a specific place at a specific time for a specific purpose. Every delay, every closed door, and every disappointment that made you question me was not punishment. It was preparation. I was not holding things back from you. I was building within you the strength to carry what I am about to release. If I had given it to you when you first asked, it would have crushed you. You were not ready then, not because you were not worthy, but because you were not strong enough yet. But now you are. Everything that tried to break you actually built you, and now you are ready to hold what is coming. I want you to do something with me right now. Close your eyes in your mind and see yourself standing in front of a door. It is the same door I have been describing. You can feel the handle in your hand. It is cold, solid, and real. And on the other side of that door is everything I just told you. You are not imagining this, and this is not just visualization. This is recognition. I am showing you something that already exists in a place you cannot see yet. Your hand is already on the handle, and the only thing left is to turn it. Do you feel that? Do you feel how close you are? That is not hope. That is closeness. Now listen carefully, because I am about to give you the tool I promised. It is so simple that you might feel tempted to ignore it, but I need you to trust me. Every single morning for the next 7 days, before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, before the world tells you who to be, I want you to say 4 sentences out loud. Use your voice, not just your thoughts. Here they are. I am not too late. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. I am ready, and I will not miss what you prepared for me. 4 sentences, 60 seconds, that is all. No music, no routine, no perfect setup. Just you and those words before the noise begins. And then watch what happens, not in a week or a month, but in the next 24 hours. You are going to feel a shift you cannot explain. You will start noticing things you have been missing for months. Conversations will open that were closed. Opportunities will appear that you had stopped looking for. This is not magic. This is alignment. When you speak those sentences, you are telling your spirit where to focus, and your spirit has been focused on survival for so long that it forgot how to focus on growth. Those 4 sentences reset everything. They interrupt the cycle and break the loop you have been stuck in. Now I want to address something directly, because I know some of you are thinking about it right now. You are wondering if this is real. You are wondering if I truly arranged this moment, or if you are just hoping for something to hold on to. Let me answer that. The fact that you are questioning it is proof that this message is for you. Those who do not need this will not question it, because they are not in this moment, but you are. And the opposition to your purpose knows it too. That is why the doubt feels so strong right now. That is why you feel pulled to click away or ignore this and go back to scrolling. Because if you stay, if you let this sink in, and if you act on what I am showing you, everything will change. And there are forces that do not want that change for you. So they whisper that this sounds too good, that you have heard this before, and that nothing will be different. But here is what they cannot touch. They cannot touch the fact that you are still here. They cannot touch the part of you that refused to give up even when it would have been easier. They cannot touch the fact that you found this message at this exact moment. That is not an accident. That is alignment. I have been moving things in ways you cannot see, and this moment, this message, and this decision you are about to make is the result of a plan that started long before you were born. Now before I speak over your life, I need you to understand something about seeds and growth. You have been asking for results, but you stopped taking care of what you planted. You prayed over it and believed in it, but when nothing appeared right away, you stopped nurturing it. You stopped speaking life into it, and you stopped protecting it. Now the seed is just below the surface, about to break through, and you are ready to walk away because you cannot see it yet. That is what I mean when I say you are leaving one day too early. The seed is not gone. It is about to open, but it needs one more moment of care. And that care is your faith for one more day. That is all I am asking, not a year or a month, but one more day of trusting me when everything around you says otherwise. And now I need to talk about something that may feel uncomfortable, but it matters. There are people in this space who have been given the role of helping others move forward. They are not better or more chosen. They are simply further along, and they have been given resources not to keep, but to share. If you feel something inside you right now, a pull telling you to give into what is helping you, do not ignore it. That is not pressure. That is an invitation for you to take part in your own growth. When you give into what is helping you grow, you are not giving to a person. You are supporting the continuation of something bigger, and there is a principle that what you give with sincerity returns multiplied. The option is available, and the choice is yours if you feel ready to act. Now I am going to do what I said I would do. I am going to speak directly over your life, and I do not need you to be in a specific place or position. I only need you to receive this. I release you from the guilt of every prayer you think went unanswered, because every prayer was heard, just not always in the way you expected. I release you from the shame of every moment you thought you failed, because you did not fail, you learned. I release you from the weight of believing you are too far behind, because there is no behind, there is only placement, and you are exactly where you need to be. I release you from the lie that says you are not enough, because you were enough from the moment you were created. You were made with purpose, on purpose, and for a purpose, and that purpose is about to become so clear that you will question why you ever doubted it. I awaken the part of you that sees what others miss. I awaken the voice in you that speaks truth even when it is difficult. I awaken the part of you that builds something out of nothing. I awaken the part of you that brings healing and changes the atmosphere around you. And I awaken the part of you that opens doors for others so they do not have to walk alone. These are not just words. These are awakenings, and they are active now. In the next 48 hours, you will feel a clarity you have not felt in months. You will notice a confidence you thought was gone. You will sense something real again, something you had almost forgotten. That is not just emotion. That is confirmation. Now I want you to do something in the comments. Type 3 words. I turn the handle. Say it, confirm it, and let this small action show that you are ready to move forward and stop repeating the past. And if someone comes to your mind while you are hearing this, someone who has gone quiet, someone who seems fine but feels different, someone who used to shine but has dimmed, send this to them. Do not wait, and do not assume they will find it on their own. You might be the way they receive what they need. Do not let fear of being too much stop you from doing what feels right. Their moment might be passing, and you could be the one meant to reach them. One more thing, I know some of you are unsure about giving. You have been holding back, not because you do not want to, but because you feel afraid it will not return, afraid you might need it later, or afraid it will not matter. Let me speak to that. You are not asked to give so something can be taken from you, but so something can grow through you. The option is there for those who feel ready to act. Watch what happens when you do. You may not be able to explain it, but you will see it. You entered this message feeling one way, and now you are leaving feeling different. That is not random. That is a shift. You came in thinking you were too late, and now you understand you are right on time. You came in expecting failure, and now you are stepping into change. The door is open, your hand is already on it, and now it is time to turn it. Move forward with peace. The forgetting is over. The seed is ready to grow, and you will not miss what is meant for you, not today and not again.